Welcome to the Imperfect Dads Podcast. This is your host, Devin. We believe dads care deeply about their family and kids, but they don't always have a space to discuss what their life looks like. Our podcast is a space for dads to discuss the ups and downs of fatherhood and how they feel like they're holding it together or how they're not. Thank you for joining us for this episode. This podcast is part of the Never a Face Network. Make sure to follow them on Instagram or go to the website neverafacenetwork.com. On this episode, we have on Shane and Mason from the band Turn 2. They both have one kid under the age of 2, so a lot of this conversation is about the chaos, exhaustion, and changes that come in the first year of a kid's life. Mason's daughter spent a lot of time in the NICU, and we talked about what that reality is like when your daughter is born at 19 weeks instead of full term, and the story of being on the road and getting the call from his wife that he needed to get home. We also talked about their band Turn 2 and how they formed and the pop punk scene in Philly and New England area, but mostly all of this conversation is about the changes you make in your life when you have a newborn and the feelings of excitement, joy, exhaustion, and pride. Just like one more thing.
Dad, just start the episode.
Oh, my bad. Since there's two of you on this call, I do have to act somewhat professional and be like, hey, introduce yourself, say your name. That way you have a name for the voice for the name. So people listening can have some idea of who's talking.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. My name's Shane. I am the drummer of Turn 2.
I'm Mason. I'm the bass player of Turn 2.
I didn't know you guys were going full rhythm section for this.
But yeah, we're the only ones that are dads.
Yeah.
The other two decided not to go down that path. So
that's right. Well, I mean, you guys are just holding it down like a rhythm section should.
That's it.
Absolutely. 100%.
That's it.
We got to rely on each other.
That's so good. What do you guys, okay, I haven't had a rhythm section on the podcast before. Do you guys have a bass and drum combo that you're hoping to sound like? Do you have like a reference point when you guys go to write songs?
I don't know if we've ever thought about that.
No, we haven't thought about that. Oh, I want to hear Shane's.
Good. You put me on the spot here. I'm trying to think.
It's the hardest question you'll get the entire night. Don't worry.
I mean, if I would pick one for me and Mason, it would be Neil Peart and Geddy Lee.
Sure, yeah.
Wait,
casual.
come on. Were you just trying to tug at my heartstrings here, Shane?
No, I use Neil Peart signature sticks.
Yeah,
come on now, bro.
Man,
I wish we were good enough to
yeah, there's no way we'd be like good ever.
No, of course not. Yeah, Mason, how's your falsetto? How's your upper range?
I can make it work. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried about.
Okay. Yeah. You're like, what's my sobriety level have to be for singing that high? I feel like you got to get some serious confidence going for that, you know?
Yeah. I'm blown away that you said that, Shane. I'm really happy about that because mine was going to be, it was like, well, we're in a pop punk band. So my first thought is like Mark Hoppus and Travis, right?
Of course. Yeah.
But like the bass player in me wants it to be Les Claypool and Tim Alexander, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's a good one. That's
a good one. Definitely.
I always thought that was,
fun, you know, you should just listen to the way Mason just plays his bass before anybody's ready to do anything. And he's just standing on stage waiting for people to like, you know, be like, oh, we're ready to go. Mason's like putting weird sound effects and going tapping and all this crazy shit. And I'm like, that's my bass player.
Just trying to get people over to the crowd or, you know, over to the stage. That's all.
You know who I thought, like, I'm 38, so growing up, like one bass player I always loved who I feel like is very forgotten about now is the bass player for Incubus, like the original. I'm trying to think. Dirk, what's his last name?
Right?
Yes. Like yes, and he was also on like I think A Crow Left of the Murder is whenever he left, but like
he had
like 4 albums whenever he was just like
those first
destroying everything on there.
Yeah.
Crow,
right.
Crow is. I mean, that's. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's like maybe most Incubus fans' favorite record, but that's definitely like that's peak Incubus for me. You think what Morning View? Is that?
Yeah, of course it's Morning View.
You know, that's where the hits are, but I don't know. I think Crow is just more cohesive record.
Dude, what's the album? What's the album with Warning on it?
That's Morning View. That's Morning View.
That's Morning View. Okay, what's
the
the one that Make Yourself? That's the
Make Yourself. That's what it is. Yes. Which I mean, Make Yourself also has some phenomenal.
That's a great record too.
Yes. I always have like a mental list of like, what's a band you used to be obsessed with, but you forget existed now? Incubus is like number 1 and 2. Like 7th, 8th grade, high school me, constant Incubus.
Oh my God, there's so many of those bands for me too.
Yeah.
Like I was like obsessed with like 311 back in the
Okay,
day.
of
Like
course, yeah.
311 was like the shit, and now I couldn't. Yeah, I'd tell you the last time I listened to 311. Not that I don't like it anymore, but I couldn't
I
tell you the last time I listened to
Yeah.
311.
think they have 311 Fest in New Orleans, maybe, or they did for a while.
I feel like they just are just a constant touring band. That they almost give me like the alternative Dave Matthews vibe. You know, like I remember going to their shows and like people that I would never see at any other show would be at a 311 show just because it like appealed to like everyone.
Yeah, of
And
course.
like it felt like to me it was like the ska / punk Dave Matthews, you know?
Yep.
It's great.
Yep. What about you, Mason? What pops in your head before we get into parenting? This is our warm-up combo.
Yeah.
What's a band you can think of like you used to be obsessed with and now you kind of forget you ever listened to?
It's I was trying to think about that because I end up like going back to things just to revisit them, see if it still rekindles something or like brings back memory.
Yeah.
I was in high school. I was really into. I was thinking about Block Party, but like I go back to Block Party. You know, I go back to that. Refused is another one. I was obsessed with Refused, but there was like a good 10 years where like I didn't pop on Shape of Punk to Come or anything like that.
Yep.
I really don't know.
Well, then like the Bear kept on using New Noise in the first season, like over and over and over again. And I was like, there's no way that Refused, whenever they wrote this song and no one really listened to it in the early 2000s, they thought, you know what? This is going to be in a critically acclaimed TV show on an obscure cable network.
But yeah, I mean, I maybe I could say Refused for sure. I mean, like, I mean, like, I there's so much of that band that I think has resonated with me, even in like the 10 years that I wasn't listening to them. I'd still pull from things like in what I played, whether it be like drums or bass, like, you know, like there's just things in that record I pull from. I don't know.
That record is like, that is a record that shaped a lot of the bands that came after it. Like, there's so many bands that will say like, what's a main influence of your, you know, reason why you started playing this kind of music? You know, tons of bands will say The Shape of Punk to Come, you know?
Sure.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a great
I will say the second Block Party album, A Weekend in the City, I recently went back and read a bunch of the interviews that their lead singer did at the time. And that album is like filled with like references to like racism, him not being comfortable with his sexuality, him feeling isolated, alone, living in the city. Like that album, like I remember listening to it in college and being like, oh, this is really good. This is catchy. This bass line's sweet. Like, what are they talking about here? And now like going back to and adding the cultural context of him feeling isolated in Britain and like no one understood him. I'm like, oh, this is a much lonelier album than I realized.
I was just talking about that with a friend of mine. We were vastly different though. We were talking about Arrested Development, like as a TV show.
Yes.
And when you're 16 watching Tobias jump off, you know, trying to be Mary Poppins and he just falls flat, it's the funniest freaking thing. You start to watch it and you're like in your 20s and 30s, and then you understand like the political context, you understand some of those things that you just didn't understand when you were a teenager. It's like, oh wow, this is like so much deeper than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, like it's so funny.
But it gives it such a new like layer, which is so cool. Because it's not like you're watching the same thing just over again to watch the same thing, right? You're getting a new perspective on it, and I do enjoy that.
Yeah.
So good. Anyway, how many kids you got? Kids, ages, all that good stuff.
We're both just one, and mine is 6. She's going to be 16 months.
Yeah.
And Mason's just turned 1, right?
Yeah. Last weekend, yeah.
Yeah, they're little ones.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I have 3. I have a 10-year-old daughter, 8-year-old daughter, and 4-year-old son.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Dude, whenever your kid like turns 1, it is such a like it's a game changer. That first year of a kid's life is like, what am I doing? What happened? How do I communicate? How am I a person anymore?
Not changed for me.
No, when they turn 2 or 3 is whenever you're like, can I? If I leave the house to go to a movie or like just get a drink with a friend, I'm not destroying this whole ecosystem, right? Like that's is that cool?
Yeah. Yep, that's for
how's
sure.
How's it feel for you guys? What to me, 1 was like a really big moment. I think when people have the 1-year birthday party, it's a party for you and your wife to say, or partner to say, we kept this kid alive for a year. It's nothing to do with the kid. It's literally just to be like, this kid's still alive, and damn it, we did it.
Mine though is like she wants to be the star of the show. Like everybody was here at my house, and she's like, look at me kind of.
That's
She
cool.
walks around in her dress, and we put her in her high chair and sang happy birthday in like the dining room, and she is just like looking around and having a ball. She just
That's
wants
awesome.
everybody to be watching her. So she's I'm scared. It makes me scared.
What about you, Mason? What was the 1 year birthday party like for you guys?
Well, we kept it pretty small. It was just like, immediate families, her grandparents, aunts and uncles, and her cousins and stuff. We're actually going to do a big bash. My daughter was a preemie, so we're gonna do a big bash on her actual due date.
Yeah.
And her name's Adelina. So for the Step Brothers fans, we're doing the Adelina wine mixer, which I was like,
Oh my God.
which is
I did not know that that's what it was called.
It's the
That's
Adelina wine
amazing.
mixer,
I'm
yeah.
excited to come to this.
Yeah. So we're gonna do like the big bash on like her due date and stuff, because by then it'll be spring. She's like she's out of the weeds in terms of like her health and stuff. It'll just be like it'll be nice to be like outside and have people over and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's not going to be 5 degrees like it probably is currently for
exactly
you guys.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the first birthday very small, but it was very much like a, hey, we did it, like you said, Devin.
Yeah. Not for real. You just got to be happy that you got through it, and you're alive too. That's not even just like you kept the kid alive; it's that you are still alive.
Yep. And if you and your wife or partner are still on speaking terms, that's the other thing.
Exactly. That's yep. 100%.
I always feel like the first 6 months are the most ridiculous because you literally are like, I mean, I think every dad has talked to me about the moment where you're leaving the hospital and you're like, you guys are seriously going to let me leave here with this kid?
Yeah,
like you guys think,
okay, see you later.
You guys think I'm going to keep this? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is real now. So it's your identity, I think, changes so much in that first year because you have to reassess like every aspect of your freaking life and like sacrifice in ways you didn't like. I didn't know what sacrifice or selflessness meant. And then you have a kid and you're like, oh, this is what that means. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I also didn't know what not sleeping was like ever. And I swear to God, people would tell you, like, you're not really going to sleep that much. And I'd always go like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Swear that the first like month was like, what? I don't know what's going on anymore. And granted, mine still doesn't sleep through the night, and she's 16 months, which is terrible. But I'm used to it now. So
you familiarized it, like you've never like. I used to have a co-host with this, and he was like, in college, like you pull all nighters, you drink Red Bull, you power through. You can't do that with a 6-day-old. You can't just be like, I'm gonna white knuckle this. I'm gonna drink 3 Red Bulls and go. And it's like, nah, man, you got to somehow stay chill and calm and like not jittery and like present and responsible all at the same time.
Because you can't just pass out afterwards either. Because like if you do that all nighter, you're just like, okay, I pulled the all nighter, I've done it. I'm just
recover.
I'm gonna recover for a whole day and just lay on the couch. That's not happening ever again.
If you want to stay married, I would highly suggest not to do that.
Yep.
Mason, what was it like? How early was do you have a daughter or a son? I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Daughter. Yeah.
Okay, cool. How early was your daughter? How much time did you guys spend in the NICU?
She was 3 months early.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so 3 months early, and we were in the NICU for 4 months.
Yeah.
But I mean, to the sleeping thing, I think because she was in the NICU, she sleeps like super well.
Yeah.
Like she was going crazy like in the NICU where it'd be like she sleeps all day, but then she's up all night. And then something happened like a month before we left, and she got into like this really, really solid sleep schedule.
Yeah.
Not say like she doesn't wake up at like 3 or 5 in the morning. She just did that, all of last week. But for the most part, she's 7 to 7, which is pretty awesome. I know. I'm
literally sitting here. My wife is gone and she's coming home in a little bit, but I'm sitting here with this in front of me, waiting, hoping that this child
just knowing whenever she suddenly goes, shit.
Yeah. I think she's okay for now. Knock on wood.
We said it out loud. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, man.
We're good. We're okay. I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
I know it'll be. We're just gonna throw it out into existence. We know it'll be fine.
Manifest. Mason, can you tell me a little bit like what your experience was like being in the NICU? Like, did one of you? None of my kids ended up in the NICU.
Yeah.
Did you like
how'd you manage, like, because if my kid was in the NICU, I would think like I'd want one of us to be there constantly, and like 3 months or 4 months in NICU was a real. How did you guys manage that? Because I wouldn't know how to do that.
Long story short, we were there just about every day. My wife was there every day. I can count 6 days I missed.
Yeah.
And it was funny, like my wife was like, those 6 days bother you, don't they? I was like, yeah,
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, no, we were there every day. Yeah, I mean, that's just like you kind of rally.
Yeah.
You just got to be there, so.
Yeah.
And it, like, we were talking about, I forget what the context was, but like coming home, with your, like, you're gonna let me have this person in the house.
Yeah.
Before, like, it was like the last week they had to on babies that are like on their way out, because all we want to do is bring her home. That's like all you want to do. They had to put like trackers on babies, like in the event that, because apparently it happens where like, parents are just like, we're bringing our kid home. This is BS.
Yep.
They have to like, put
they
like,
do.
and it's like a big green like track. It was like, like a prison, like a,
Yeah.
It's like a house arrest.
Yeah,
it's like a house arrest thing.
Like, it's basically like a house arrest thing on your daughter.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Well, I think when we had our kids, like, we did them at Vanderbilt because we were in Nashville for all 3 kids. And like, they have all this stuff where like those doors will shut and they'll lock. Like if you walk out of like where they've got like the security doors, and I'm like, as a parent, I'm okay with this.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I'm like the more
100%.
secure.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna.
Then you watch those like shows that come on, and you're like, this person went in and wanted a baby so bad that they stole one.
Yes.
And you're like, I hope that, they better be taking precautions against that.
That's right. Well, I mean, like when we had our second kid, she had some seizures whenever she was born. So how we would manage that is my wife she was only in the like hospital emergency room, all that for like 4 days or so as we, got everything leveled out, figured out meds. But yeah, my wife stayed there the entire time. And I basically would like go grab my older daughter, take her to daycare, go from daycare to then go to the hospital. Then school would get out. I would go pick her up from daycare, spin her. Like it was just a cycle of like, that's how I found to be the most helpful, was like, we do have a life outside of this room and we need to somehow maintain that, but I don't want to leave this room.
For sure. Like there was a thing, like we had 24-hour access to the NICU. So like, there would be nights where Dana's just like, I need to go. So we would just go. But, you have a valid point. Like you have to you have to live your life. You have to, get out and stuff. And she was born in Cooper in Camden, New Jersey. So we were right across the river from Philadelphia. We would actually like go out into the city. It would just be like, we need a reprieve because being in a hospital sucks, like no matter what's going on. So we would like grab dinner in the city and stuff and then go right back to the hospital and stuff like that. So it was nice having that reprieve and that normalcy with like crazy stuff going on.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't realize that that's a convenient thing to have, right? You're not in like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And we would, I mean, like there was we found like a cool donut shop. So we would like bring donuts back from nurses and stuff from Philly. So it was like, obviously I don't miss the situation, but like I miss like, I miss like having that accessibility to the
some
city.
of the routine, like it's not the actual thing, it's some of the routine that you can get used to, and you like some of the things, but obviously you don't want to do it. Space.
It is fascinating though, because I think like having a kid, no matter how old they are, however long you're a dad, you are like, I do now sound like the dad who's finding the silver linings in like every moment of like, oh, we're in the hospital with my kid, but it could be a lot worse. Like there's a lot, like I remember taking my daughter to like a follow-up appointment whenever she was like a baby still, and like watching kids get off on the oncology floor and being like, oh, that's a child who has cancer. Okay, this is, you know what, man, just be loving and be kind to people, because you don't know what anyone's journey is. And like, I now feel like I say that constantly as a dad to my kids, like, you don't know what that guy's going through. So, just be nice. And like, I don't know, man, life is real messy.
Be kind.
Yeah,
dude.
For real.
Yeah,
if there's one thing that I want to instill in my daughter, it's that,
Yeah.
Just be, it's like, I think I was thinking like the David Bazan song, like it's hard to be a decent human being. And I'm like, I wish that wasn't such a true title as I get older, but it's hard. It's
surprise. Yeah,
it is. It's hard to, now that the cynicism win, to still like keep curiosity and like joy in life alive, because it's really easy to not, sadly.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids definitely bring the joy. They keep you, they bring it back home,
Yeah.
which is
they do. Luckily, I totally agree. Well, you can't because if you don't keep the joy and the curiosity alive, then you're teaching your kid to normalize not being curious and filled with joy. And how do you how do you teach that? That's just that makes me feel gross to even think of not embodying that for someone.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's fun. Like the stage that we're in right now is really fun because it's like you can see the gears turning and something new happens pretty often now. Like every few days there's just a new word or a new gesture or some sort of something, and she's just slowly but surely stuff is just starting to click, right? And it's kind of fun to just watch it happen, it's a cool experience.
It is. I think I commonly think to myself, my kids will still be greatly entertained by bubbles. Literally just a bubble wand. And they're like, this is so awesome. And I'm like, man, I wish I could find such joy and such simplicity still. You have to revert back to that younger version of yourself. Cause your kid chasing bubbles, they're like, this is amazing. This is the best day of my life. And I'm watching the wand level, and I'm I was about to run out of bubbles. I got to get more bubble mixed in. And it's no, I'm gonna just shut up and be in the moment. Just be here. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm also having the problem now where she can't fully speak yet. So you just clicked in my head because of the bubbles thing, but bubbles, ball, there's 5 B words that all are just buh.
Yeah.
You have to decipher what she's trying to say by context clues.
Yeah.
And so I've started to get better at it, but there's still a lot of stuff where she's like I had her just now before I put her to bed, and I had her at the TV was on, and we were watching Miss Rachel together, and I had filled up a bottle of milk for her, and she could see the TV through the doorway, and she kept saying no, 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 and I was like, "Well, you don't want milk? You don't what's going on?" I was like, "She definitely wants milk before she goes to sleep," and I was confused.
It's good for everyone. Yeah.
And then when I actually looked, she was looking at the TV because Miss Rachel had been paused, and she was going like this on her nose, and she was trying to say nose.
Nose.
I didn't know what she was saying.
Oh man!
But she kept saying no, 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 and then I saw that she was going like this, and she was looking at the TV, and I was like, oh, okay. But it's stuff like that that's constantly happening.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to learn, and again, see it all, start clicking. It's a cool thing.
It's so fun, man. I think every kid and every human is communicating. It's just figuring out the language, figuring out what they're doing. Because your daughter's 100% saying no, 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 and you're saying but your definition of no is a negative, stop it, and you're this is what always happens. And there's some nights whenever you do want to look up and be no, the answer's yes, and then the kid's what just happened?
I'm sorry, I was trying to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry here, but it's funny to notice when you yourself are not centered, whenever you yourself are oh, I don't want to figure this out. You're dude, just calm down. You'll be okay. Whatever else you feel like you need to get to, you'll be good, man. Take the extra minute. Look around. What is your kid talking about? And it'll be better for him. Mason, do you feel like your daughter is starting to do anything like that yet, where you're starting to develop almost a secret language with her?
Not yet. It's she's starting to do this one thing where she's it's not peekaboo, but Dana and I will be my wife and I will be eating dinner, and she's right on the table with us, and she'll try to startle us, and we have to act.
Yes.
And she just gut laughs at it, and it's the greatest thing.
That's so good.
It's so good. It's so good.
She just goes, and we have to go surprise, and she just starts laughing. I mean, she's not necessarily a secret language.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's just finding ways to entertain herself right now. You know? I mean, that's probably the closest thing.
As long as she didn't just take a bite of food and then goes
that would be.
Yeah. Oh my God. I had the scariest thing ever. I was at my buddy's house. It was during football season. And I was at my buddy's house, and we had tortilla chips and stuff and pizza on the table. And usually if she wants chips, I could break them up into teeny tiny pieces and give them to her. So that's what I was doing. And she was playing, running around the floor, walking around the floor. And then she somehow, without me seeing, got a hold of a mini hard pretzel.
Fantastic.
And I saw her, and she started doing and it was she wasn't making any noise. And there were 6 people in the room, all sitting there. And I was oh my God, she's choking. And I had to like run over and like, I don't know what about the situation just kicked into like calm and collected, like figure it out mode. I went over, I smacked her on the back a few times, didn't work, picked her up, pulled her over, and did try to do like a Heimlich kind of thing. That didn't work either. And I put her back on the ground. This is all like in the course of like
2 seconds?
8 seconds. Yeah. 6, 7 seconds. And then I like started patting her, hitting her on the back again harder. And then the second time I hit her on the back, it popped out. And I was, I almost had a heart attack.
Yeah, man.
Like, the people I was with, my friend Max was like, dude, that was scarier than like anything that's happened to me in the last like 5 years.
Dude. So we got it for ourselves before Addie came home, and we're nowhere near, well, we're close to solid foods. We're doing like the purees and stuff.
Yeah.
Shane, do you have the Life Vac?
No, but everybody, my wife sees the shit on like TikTok all the time.
Dude.
And I feel like some people just have it just as like a peace of mind thing. Like they'll just not use it, but we have it.
Dude,
at least, but like, are you going to carry that around everywhere you go? That's like my thing is like,
you
I'm probably
will
not
now.
Carry
you will for a month. You will for a month or two.
What the diaper bags for, man?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I would get something like that, dude. Yeah. Yeah, because like that is a legit fear, you know.
It surprised me how like not panicked I was. In the same moment. I was more panicked about it after it was done than I was in the moment of it happening. So it like kind of surprised me that I was like,
hey, this is okay. We're gonna do this now. We're gonna try this out now. We'll be good.
Yeah, like it's like, well, you gotta just do it like until it works.
Yeah, I love how parenting or having a kid unlocks like this level of anxiety that I never knew existed within me. It's great. It's great. It's fantastic.
Add that to the no sleep thing and you're golden.
Exactly. Well, I mean, like it is weird. Like it is like whenever you do have that newborn, and like I had a couple of friends who lost their kids to SIDS. Like that was part of my community's existence. And so like you sit there and you watch your kid, and like you do literally like I still walk into my kid's bedroom and like lick my fingers so it's wet and put it underneath their mouth to make sure they're still breathing, because I'm just like I don't know, man. I just want you guys to stay alive because I like you. So can you please?
I get freaked out when it's funny because my daughter doesn't sleep through the night, like hasn't. So anytime that she sleeps to a point where she wakes up once, I'm like, I'll wake myself up at like midnight and like she hasn't woken up yet. Is she like, what's going on?
Yes. I wish that wasn't relatable. I remember like whenever they're like less than 1, if they would sleep in like an extra hour or something like that, or if they normally took a 2-hour nap, but this time they're taking a 3-hour nap, like I'm like looking at the monitor and like they are twitching, right? Like they're moving a little. Like then you're like, but if I go in there and open up the door, then I've ruined the nap that they clearly need. But also, what?
Yep.
Mood. I'm gonna say we have the owlet. I don't know if you guys have run.
Is that like the
Yeah. So when Addie came home, she was on what's called a pulse ox, and it's basically like it monitors your heart rate, monitors your oxygen. And Dana my wife put it on our registry, not thinking anyone would buy it because it was like $300. Turns out somebody bought it for us. So like those, if we're kind of because she was on oxygen coming home and stuff. She's technically still on the night oxygen, and if we're just kind of like unsure about things, Dana will just pull up on her phone like, you know, what her oxygen is reading and stuff like that. You know, what her heart rate is. The heart rate was big, trying to get her down for naps, because like if she was in that 130 to 140 range, we knew it was going to be a bitch to like get her down.
It
was like,
so you're like looking at statistics now. You're like it was like analytics, like baseball now.
Basically, So we would we would be like, all right, 119, I think we're good. We'll rock her a little bit more. And then you see it go down to like 95. And you're like, all right, we're good. Let's, let's hightail it out of here.
That's
she's
good,
down.
Dude.
Yeah.
But also like if your first 3 or 4 months were in the NICU, whenever you came home with that kid, like, yeah, man, my anxiety level, my like everything would already feel amplified. Like I'm already like, how the hell do I keep this kid alive? And then I would also be like, where are the heart rate monitors, where the oxygen? Like if a lot of being a parent is figuring out, how do I feel like I'm being the best dad I know how to be? And it is getting things like that. It's getting heart rate monitors, whatever it can be to make you sleep at night. Really.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that, Mason, because like it's probably a combination of like the way we feel about like how could they just like expect us to just take this thing home and take care of it, but like you had like a whole nother level added to that, taking your child, but you also have no context of what that's not like, right? Because you haven't had a kid before, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a combo.
I mean, bringing that stuff home. I mean, like we'll bring her home with whatever we need to just to get her home, right?
Yeah, just to get her home. Yeah.
But like, it wasn't nerve-wracking bringing that stuff. It was more or less just stuff to get her home, because like we were around it for 4 months.
Yeah, so you probably learned how to use at least some of it.
Like we were putting on like the pulse. We were putting on the pulse socks. We were like taking off her leads and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was really like not a big deal to us when we like the first week when when stuff would go off and whatnot, we were freaking out. We're just thinking, they were just like, hey, this stuff is going to happen. If the nurses aren't freaking out, don't freak out. It was like kind of put it to you that way. So then 4 months into that, being used to like the beeps and what's what, you kind of just like, you kind of just go with the flow,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's fascinating what you can get familiar with whenever something happens for the first time in your life, and you're like, how do I get through this? Like it takes some getting used to it before you're like, okay, got the muscle memory. I know what this noise means. I know that nothing's really that bad. Just monitor it, pay a little bit more attention.
Yeah. Regardless of the context, like seeing your kids struggle with stuff like that sucks,
It does. Yep. And then also, Shane, also knowing though, like even something, hey, my kid ate a pretzel that's too big, realizing that you have to be the calm one in this scenario. Because if your kid sees you losing your shit, that's not going to make anything better. But your first thought about like, well, what happened? How'd you get that? Blah, blah, blah. You weren't supposed to eat that pretzel. And it's like, well, dude, that's not going to make anything better. You got to go over there, make sure your kid's breathing, and then walk into a different room and scream into a pillow, and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's funny. Yeah, you're totally right though, Mason. It's like, and regardless of the context of how severe or how not severe the thing is, seeing your child in any sort of discomfort is just like mine has like diaper rash right now, and she screamed when I changed her, and she was so upset, and I hate doing that to her, but it's like I have to get you clean or else it's gonna get worse.
Yep.
So I have to do this, and she's so pissed at me, and she has screamed so loud, and I feel so bad about it. But
have you guys had to use
your teeth?
Had to use the snot sucker with
We tried it once. I tried it once. It did not work out well. The Frida.
Yeah, mine didn't work. Yeah, that doesn't work for you stick your mouth in it and you start. Yeah, it doesn't really work. What worked well for her, and she, thankfully, I mean, I'm blessed to have my mother and father live 10 minutes one direction, and my wife's mother and father live 10 minutes in the other direction, and we haven't had to put her in daycare or anything because
that's nice.
they take her like 3-ish, maybe sometimes even 4 days a week.
Hell yeah.
While we work from home, so it's been great. So she has not been sick very often, knock on wood.
Yeah.
So the one time that she was really stuffed up, what we found worked the best was we got a really nice humidifier, and we took eucalyptus oil and we dripped that into the humidifier, and it kind of gives you that like little bit. It's almost like taking like breathe the Vapo Cool stuff, but just like in a less concentrated form that just like permeates, gives her a little bit more humidity and stuff. That worked well.
Nice.
Actually, to be honest with you. The snot sucker thing. She doesn't want me to touch her face ever. Like, so it's like,
who wants their face touched?
Like, yeah, it's like, God.
Well, that's why I brought it up.
Trying to clean her. Yeah.
We were talking about like kids like just being not comfortable, and it's like, no, I have to do this. Addie, like with like the cold season, like she just got like pretty stuffy and whatnot, and if we'd used the snot sucker with her, you would have thought that we were like
her, right?
we were giving her like pinpricks or something. I don't know. Yeah, she was not having it, man.
Yeah.
But also though, like I always love to do this where like, okay, that's what you're doing to your child. If I walked up to either of you guys right now and put a hose up to your nose and then
for sure.
I put my mouth on the other end and was like, I'm gonna suck out the snot. You both would look at me and be
Mason, I have mine here. I could just do that to you next time you're.
Sounds good. It's good. Yeah. It's got to
If
be
you
a
get a little
weird
stuffy,
feeling, I
just
would
let me
assume.
know.
Yeah.
It's got to be
Yeah.
weird, man.
Yeah.
I do neti pot
Yeah.
sometimes, and that feels weird. So
Yeah.
seeing someone
Yeah.
on the other side of it, I'd be like, I'm good.
Yeah, that's weird. And also, like, I know that there's a filter in that thing, but
Oh,
it's
I don't
so
trust that
weird
filter.
thinking
I don't
about
trust that
like
filter.
sucking. Yeah, yeah.
Worked
Yeah.
fine for me. I don't know.
I'm
It's been
sure
a
it
constant
does.
in the house, you know.
Yeah.
They wouldn't make it if it didn't work.
Yeah.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
All I
well,
know,
I guess it wouldn't be a problem.
it taught me that I'm not prepared to siphon gas, because if I'm not willing to, suck out snot,
Yeah, that's no filter. Yeah.
I gotta think of, in the zombie apocalypse, I gotta think of a different skill set than siphoning gas.
Yeah.
That's basically what it taught me.
Yeah.
Okay, so to switch to like music talk and stuff, like tell me about your band, like how it got started, all that, and then I'll ask you how that relates to being dads with young kids, because you guys probably don't play shows at like 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
No,
Yes.
that's for sure. Yeah. So I played in a touring pop punk esque band back in the early 2010s called With the Punches.
Mm-hmm.
We were, from the New York, New Jersey area, and we toured like pretty heavily from like 2010 to like 2013. That was like all I did. I worked
Yeah.
in a restaurant when I was home, and I was on the road like over 100 days during the year.
Yeah.
Mason, you toured in a band for a while too, but I don't know what years that was active.
Probably most active between like 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we both have like extensive like
Yeah.
backgrounds in playing in bands before. And so my old band went on like a quote unquote hiatus in like 2014. And we still played gigs and stuff here and there, but it was never like active touring. There was never active like writing really at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, pandemic hit, I got a job in software so that I could work from home. And I was like, I need to play music again because I haven't really, like, the once every 2 years with the Punches show, scratches the itch a little bit, but it still doesn't fully, get you there. So my buddy Matt, who I've been friends with since we were like 17 years old, he's played guitar forever and was never like really in like a legit band that would like go out and play gigs and stuff. He and I, just got together and we were like, we need to do this band. It's got to happen. We've talked about it so much. Let's just do it. So we started writing songs. We wrote like 6 or 7 songs, and we had a guy who was singing and playing guitar for us, who was a friend of Matt's. And we had recorded everything. We went to his house in the Poconos that his parents owned to like set up with recording equipment. We stayed there for a week recording
Nice.
all the stuff and everything. And it was awesome. And then he just needed to like mix and master everything. And he just like wouldn't do any of it. And then like months after he had been tasked to like, again, we weren't like up his ass about like trying to get this stuff done, but I was also like, 2 months down the road, I'm like, yo, hey Brian, like, what did you do anything?
Yeah.
And he like lost his mind on Matt one time. He was like, you think I don't have a job and other things I need to do and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And like lost it and started like flipping out on Matt. And I was like, dude, this guy is like ballistic. Like he's just like not he treated Matt like garbage, and it
That
was like
sucks.
it was really crappy.
Yeah.
So like we kind of like we're like we're not going to play with this dude. So we like dropped it, and like after all that hard work and all the recording and everything, we were like pretty discouraged. We like almost were like we're not going to do this anymore
Yeah.
because like what do we have? It's just us, the guitar player and a drummer. Can't use half the songs because Brian wrote half of them. We can use the other half, and we're kind of starting from scratch at this point. So at the time, my sister was dating a guy out in California who happened to be the drummer from our current singer Mike's old band. And I had put out like, Instagram story from my Instagram account and was like, hey, I'm trying to do this thing, this is what we want to sound like.
Yeah.
We need someone who can sing and or play guitar. And so Pete, my my sister's boyfriend, um, saw the Instagram story and forwarded it to Mike and was
Okay.
like, hey, he lives like semi close to you. You should see if you guys wanted to like jam or not. And so Mike reached out to me and he sent me a demo, which is actually turned into one of the songs that's on our EP that's coming out this summer.
Nice.
And I was like, oh my God, this dude can sing. So I was like, okay, kind of like lit a spark under me. And then we jammed with him a couple of times, and I was like, "This is awesome. Let's do this again, like full steam ahead, right?" And then at that point, we were trying to find a bass player, and Mason could probably explain the situation on how he came in the band a little bit better than me.
Yeah, I was at a Phillies game, and I've known our singer for. I mean, at this point, I've probably known him now for 14 years, but we've just been on different musical wavelengths. I was at a Phillies game, and he ended up on the Jumbotron, like screaming into the camera, "Let's go Phillies."
Yeah.
And I texted him like, "Hey man, I'm pretty sure you're at the Phillies game right now, and he was like, "Oh my God, yeah, that was me." And then, we talk a little bit, and out of nowhere, he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're looking for a bass player. Like, are you interested in playing?" And given the pandemic, I really hadn't been doing much in terms of music, so I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And so I came to a rehearsal, and it was fun. And lo and behold, here I am.
Going.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
How'd that line up with like your time in NICU? Was that kind of like after all that had settled, or how were you in the band whenever you were in the NICU with your kid?
Yeah, I was.
Do you want to tell this story?
Yeah, because like that's 4 months of maybe not being available for a band. Yeah,
it's the worst night of my life. It's the worst.
Yeah, it's the worst night.
Unless you don't want to. Unless you don't want it out there in the public. If it's too personal or anything, I'll ask you different questions.
I'll condense it. We're at a show in Connecticut. And we finished the show. I call my wife, or I text her. I'm like, "Hey, we just wrapped up." She calls me crying. Something's up. And she's going to the hospital, basically. Yeah. So, so I text, or I let the guys know, "Hey, my wife's heading to the hospital." We rally into our my singer's car, and him and I just we hit the road. On the way to back home, my singer, he hits a brick on the highway. It's like, I think, what was it, Sheen? Like an hour and a half into the drive, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't that long, because the drive from where we were in Connecticut, New London, to where Mason is what, like 4 hours?
It was 4 hours.
More.
Yeah,
that's not awful. Yeah.
So yeah, it was probably like an hour and a half into your drive.
So that wasn't fun. So ultimately, we find a hotel. Like we're staying there. I get a call that things aren't going as well.
Yeah.
Basically, like, my wife ruptured at 19 weeks. That's when. That's awful. So not great.
Yeah.
So I have to, Mike Hayden, gem of a man, orders me an Uber, and I hightail it to the hospital.
Yeah.
So from January into April, I wasn't like playing shows or anything like that. Like once all that happened, I took just a bit of a hiatus. I think like what was it, Shane? The guy filling in for me couldn't do the show in Baltimore, so I was like, you know what, let's get after it.
So my buddy Joe, we had like two kind of, the old guitar player from With the Punches is one of my very close friends. He filled in on bass for a couple shows, which was really fun. And then the actual bass player from With the Punches, my other friend Mike, filled in on a few other shows too, but couldn't do this one Baltimore show. So Mason was like, you know what, like, I can get away for the night.
Yes.
And he drove down with your dad, right? And
me and my dad drove down. Yeah.
It was fun.
That's awesome.
So
I had some friends that were in a band called A Plea for Purging. They're based out of like Tennessee. They're metal or whatever.
I feel like I've heard of that band.
Yeah, their bass player had to get away for something. And so their lead guitarist, who I was friends with, I think, spent the night doing all the bass tracks and then just like putting it where you press play. Like he did the backing track of bass for everything.
So many bands do that nowadays too. It's like, it's too hard to find a bass player. Let's record a bass and then throw it on.
Pretty much, until you find the permanent solution. But dude, and also, like, if that happened to you, Mason, like your wife was 19 weeks pregnant, like nowhere in your head were you like, hey, I'm going to go on some shows. I'm going to become a dad in the next 24 hours. Yeah. It's like, this is like months away. I don't have to think about any of this stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't an ideal scenario by any means.
No, it's not. Dude, that sucks. I'm glad you figured it out, but like, but you have to problem solve. It's great.
She's here. That's what matters,
And that cute little dress that she showed me that she was wearing.
We just did her 1 year pictures, and they came in. So
that's so sweet.
Super stoked. Yeah. I mean,
that's awesome.
It's funny. Like, she'll be sitting. Like, I'm sure you guys do this, right? Like, your kids are right next to you, but like you're just looking at pictures on your phone of them.
You are of them.
I do that constantly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm obsessed.
I'm in the mode now where she's big enough that, like, if I look at the photos from like 2-3 months, she looks like a tiny little nothing, like potato.
Yep.
It's like so weird to look at
Yeah.
because I'm like, she's such a tiny little thing. Like, I
Yeah.
remember when she was so
Yeah.
little,
Yeah.
you'd put her on the ground and she couldn't move anywhere. Now she like climbs on stuff and runs around the house like a maniac.
Dude, yeah. My
awesome.
mom made like a scrapbook of Addie's stuff, and we were like welling up over this thing. She put in her NICU diaper, and it was like, I swear to God, the diaper was like this
tiny.
You know,
Oh my God.
and it was like we forgot. Like there was so much that happened and stuff. Like you forgot.
Yeah, it's a whirlwind.
Yeah. And it's like you see her now, and then you see this like tiny little diaper. You're just like, holy hell, man! Like,
yeah.
You're
like, oh, is this from like an American Girl doll set or something like that?
Yeah,
and you're like, no, this was what your daughter used
this
for
my daughter. Yeah, it's so crazy,
Yeah.
man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Are you guys like playing shows that much right now, or are you like, where are you like in your cycle and stuff? Are you recording? Are you playing shows? What's your world?
Yeah, so we were supposed to play two shows 2 weekends ago in New Jersey. We played the Saturday show, and then the Sunday show,
Still
24 inches of snow happened, so they canceled the show, unfortunately. But we recorded a new EP in November. We just got the finished product, at the end of January, early February. We're going to start releasing new songs now. We actually have our first single slated to come out on March 20th. So not this Friday, next Friday.
Nice.
And then we just announced we're doing 2 weekenders in May to kind of like celebrate the new EP coming out. The first weekend we're doing Worcester, Massachusetts, New Haven, Connecticut, and Brooklyn, New York. And then 2 weekends later, we're doing New Jersey, Philadelphia, and Baltimore.
Nice.
So that'll be cool. We have another kind of like thing coming up too in New Jersey in June.
Yeah.
I don't think we're allowed to say much about that yet because it hasn't been announced by the company yet. But that'll be cool too. And then we're kind of just like trying to plan what the rest of the summer looks like right now. But yeah, I mean, we're excited to get this new music out. Hopefully, we're gonna put out like a single a month or something along those lines, which will be cool.
Yep.
But I think, I'm really excited about this music. I think it's possibly like in my opinion, the best music that I've ever put out as a musician,
Yeah.
Not to say that, all the stuff with the Punches is great. I loved playing in that band and, all that music, but I'm like extremely proud of what we've put into this new record. And I can't wait to see what people think.
Yeah. And also, like, realistically, man, if you are making music, it's energizing you and is making you want to wake up and keep on making music and creating, hell yeah. Like, it's easy to be like, this is the best I've ever made. Well, also, the other stuff is good too. It's like, dude, are you in a place in which, like, you're making music that inspires you and you feel like you're challenging yourself? Hell yeah. I think that stuff should be applauded more. I think people don't listen to music or like, oh, but I like your stuff better. And it's like, there's still a person creating and trying to challenge himself, man. Like, be in their mental space with them a little bit, please.
Yeah.
So
that's it. Yeah, we're gonna probably play more shows, going into the later summer months and then into the fall. Not anything solid in stone yet, but
no, of course not.
We're working it and doing our best to do it and be dads at the same time.
Right? Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like most of the shows you're playing are probably within like a 6-hour drive from where you guys live, right?
Yep. Yeah, a little less probably at this point.
Yeah.
We've talked about, I think we're going to try and branch out a little bit more and do, some stuff that's like outside of our region, but regionally, but like short things, right? We've talked about like maybe doing like a West Coast thing, but like, doing it for like a week or less, even. So
we got to get out to Globe Hall in Denver for
Denver. So how do you know Globe Hall?
I played Globe Hall in 2019. I was trying to remember the venue that we played in Denver. Yeah, it was Globe Hall.
That is the most obscure. That guy owns Larimer Lounge and Lost Lake. So I've seen a show at both those other places. Yeah. I went and saw, do you guys know who like American Aquarium is?
Oh, I knew no, I don't think he plays in the band anymore, but one of the guitar players that played in that band when they were like heavily touring is from New Jersey. Yeah, so I remember them.
Yeah, you guys haven't entered into your Americana dad rock phase yet of life where you just listen to Jason Isbell and American Aquarium all day? So that you'll get there in about 3 to 4 years. You'll be here.
You're talking to Mason here.
I sped right through that and just went to bluegrass. Like, it was like, oh, this is twangy. It's just not twangy enough for me. So I just went right to Bill Monroe, Corey, like all that good stuff.
Yeah. Big Chris Steele fan. That's
dude, Punch Brothers, forget it.
Yeah, the mandolin.
Yes.
That's cool. Well, it seems also like from what I can tell, like Philly has a pretty solid music scene, especially for like pop punk, like the genre you guys are playing in. Seems like it's like Philly almost is having like a revitalization, if it even ever died, for the style of music that you guys are playing.
Yeah, for real. I mean, I couldn't be more thankful. I know Mason probably feels very similarly, but I couldn't be more thankful. Like when we grew up, it was amazing. Back in the early 2000s, like New Jersey music scene was always awesome. Like there's so many bands that are like huge now that came out of that scene, whether it's Early November or Saves the Day or Armor for Sleep or Senses Fail, like you just keep going on,
Yeah.
And, it seems like the venues are a little different, but it's still super supportive of that, scene, New Jersey. And I would venture down to Philly or New York on the occasion to see a show or two. But I mean, so many good shows come through like that Asbury Park, area that it's been a blessing, to be here playing this kind of music.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, to wrap up, okay, I'll start putting the episode to bed because it's like almost 10 p.m. for you guys, right?
10 o'clock. Yeah. I got a nighttime bottle at 11 o'clock that I got to get to.
Okay, cool. Well, hey, look, how I end every episode is ask every guest just 5 questions. They're pretty fun. They're pretty lighthearted. So the first question is, did you guys have any backup names for your kids? Like, did you have any names you almost named your daughters?
Yes.
Well, you tell me.
So my daughter's name is Nora Quinn. My last name is horribly complicated. It's Mazikian.
What?
Yeah, exactly. So her name is Nora Quinn. We first, like the middle name was much more contentious than the first name was.
Really?
Trying to decide between us. Yeah, it was like trying to figure it out, but she was almost Zoe. It was either Zoe or Nora, and we decided to go with Nora.
Okay. What about you, Mason?
So I think once I heard Adelina, I immediately knew that the Adelina wine mixer was going to be her 21st birthday at the time.
That's why you named it.
At least for me, that's why I named her. Dana was just like,
that's your truth. That's your truth.
That's my truth. So Adelina was instantaneous. We were picking names when we didn't know that we were having a girl. So we were having a tough time with boy names.
Yeah.
I'm a history buff. So I was like going through history for names and stuff like that and not telling my wife, because if she knew that like it was going to be a general or something, she would put it right down. But I think we'd settled on Joshua Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're familiar with the Civil War, Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain was the commander of the 20th Maine in Gettysburg. And when I told Dana that, she's
like, nope.
Yeah, it was. She thought the names were nice. She was just like,
not for that reason though.
Yeah, so she was just like, that's fine. Just don't tell my family that, So
that's fun.
So that was the only backup name that we had.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so bluegrass and history tie over. Do you know who do you ever listen to the Avett Brothers that much?
Yeah.
So they're go ahead.
I was just gonna say I played a show in Charlotte, and it was like we were doing like the late show, but one of the Avett Brothers was like, he wasn't the opener, but he had like a set show before us.
Sure.
Yeah. So so after that I listened to Avett Brothers, but I always remember that. It was just like, one of the Avett Brothers opened for us,
Just casually.
Just casually.
Their bass player, hold on, let me grab this. Bob Crawford, getting some extra promotion on this. Their bass player, Bob Crawford, just wrote a book about John Quincy Adams because he's a massive history person and also plays bass. So
I'm excited about that. I didn't know about that. Yes. That's awesome.
It literally comes out tomorrow. He was nice enough to do an episode. And he was like, do you want the book? And I was like,
that's awesome.
Sure, that's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, he does like history podcasts. He does like a show on Sirius Radio.
Nice.
Like that's what he does on the tour bus is he reads about history and like went back to school and got his master's in history and stuff.
Dude,
so,
that's awesome.
That's pretty
I'm
cool.
gonna look up all this as soon as we wrap up.
yes, you should. Bob Crawford.
Yeah.
Literally comes out tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's well done. Anyway, I'm also a history nerd. Next question. Who's your favorite TV or movie dad? Or first that comes to mind. Favorite implies a value
This is
system, so
bad
it's
because
dangerous.
The first that comes to mind is probably like the worst dad of all time.
You still have to say it.
Al Bundy.
Al Bundy from Children?
Yes.
You're
Al
not the
Bundy.
first person to say it. You're not the first person to say it. You're
I don't
okay.
know why. That's just like feels like the quintessential dad, but he's like, you don't want to be Al Bundy.
That's tough, man. The dad I really like right now is are you guys watching the show Shrinking?
Yeah.
God.
Oh, is that Harrison Ford and
Jason Segel?
Yeah.
Jason Segel?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
The guy I really like
It's
is
good.
God,
Is it Derek?
It's Derek. Yeah.
It's Derek. Everyone wants a Derek.
I like if I could aspire to be a dad, it would probably be Derek from Shrinking. I think he's just the best. I think he's the best.
I need to watch it now.
I think there's a moment where they have a neighbor and like Derek is leaving. He's like, "Oh, hey, Pam." And everyone's like, "We don't like Pam today." And he's like, "Fuck you, Pam." And then just drives off.
Excuse me. It's Eat a Dick, Pam. Oh, okay. Eat a dick, Pam.
He just does it with such like a happiness in his face of like, "Oh, hey, Pam, how's it going? We don't like Pam today. Eat a dick, Pam."
Yeah.
And then just like it's
and drives off.
It's so good.
It's so good.
I think they also, because in the second season, they do a really good job of like Derek is this really lovable, really easy to like guy, but they do a good job of still showing like he still has work to do to like meet his wife's emotional needs as her kids go off to college. Like he is a very fun person, but it still shows like, hey man, you still got to do work even if you have this good personality, good persona to still work to connect with your family. I think is like this fascinating layer that's like, oh yeah, even that guy has work to do.
Yeah.
No one has no work to do.
No one's perfect. Yeah, it's great.
Yep.
It's great.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. What's your go-to replacement curse word, or have you guys come up with one yet?
I still curse because my daughter doesn't understand it yet, but I'm about to be at the point where it's not going to work anymore.
Correct. You're getting there.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
You are.
I should stop, and I'm going to try my best to stop, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you, Shane. Yeah, like, and I'm actively trying to stop cussing, like just to be, not even just for my daughter, but just to be like a better person. But it's ingrained into me. Like, you know,
I know,
just,
same.
Yeah,
it's bad.
It's tough.
My wife has been trying to get on my case about it because she's like, she's gonna know soon. She's already picking up stuff from me, you know, now. So it's like, all right, I gotta actually stop.
Have you caught yourself going fudge?
Probably a couple times.
Yeah.
Sound effects. Sound effects is the answer. Sound effects is the answer. Don't say a word because if you try to say a word, you're gonna say the word. But if you just go,
I always think of it. Reminds me of the scene from Ace Ventura 2 where they just do the Chicago. Well, shish kebab.
You gotta do
Shawshank Redemption.
You gotta do the Joe Pesci in Home Alone. That's like he needed to stop cussing because he's coming off of like, you know,
because it's Joe Pesci.
Scorsese, because he's Scorsese. So he does the so he replaced.
That's the origin.
That's the origin. Yeah, because he was.
That's funny.
There's like a video of him like like he like gets close to cussing. He's like, I'm around kids, you know. So yeah, like that's the origin of it because his instinct is to go like
awesome.
Motherfucker, you know. So
yeah, because he cursed in every. It's like the only movie I've ever seen him in. That and the second one where he's not just like. I used to love my favorite. This isn't one of the questions, but one of my favorite made-for-TV edits is The Big Lebowski, in which whenever John Goodman's character beats up a car with a golf club, the original wording is, "This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass."
Yeah.
What it gets changed to is, "This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps," which makes no sense.
Wait,
which I'm pretty sure is also where Phoebe is. Also, I'm pretty sure where Phoebe Bridgers came up with the title of her first album, "Stranger in the Alps."
That's cool.
That is not. I've never heard that. I've only heard the original version.
It's made for TV, Big Lebowski, which also like that movie is not made for TV
God.
in any way.
No, absolutely not.
No.
But this is what
I did
happens,
not
Larry,
know that.
when you find a stranger in the Alps.
He says it like 20 times.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's not once or twice. It's a good 5 to 6 minutes of screaming, this is what happens, and staring down a boy in a room, in the living room, holding a golf club.
Man. That's funny. That's a really funny edit.
It is.
It's great.
Next question. What's like one of your favorite things that you do with your kids? Like, is there any game you guys play with them, any toy or anything like that?
So mine really is into the ball. So she likes to kick the ball, like, because she's like really like coming into her own of like running now. And so there's a place. I used to actually, my old job, their office was there, but there's a place down the street from me called Bell Works. It's where they filmed the show Severance.
Okay.
But it's like this massive building, and it's like 4 stories, and stories 2 to 4 are all offices, but the ground level are just like shops and like restaurants and bars, and it's all inside like this big thing. They do like farmers markets there on Wednesdays and stuff, but they have this big open like AstroTurf area, and people just bring their kids there when it's like crappy outside because they can still run around. So we just bring her there all the time, and there's other kids to interact with, and we bring her a little soccer ball that she has, and she loves it. She runs around and is kicking the ball, and she's like having her lunch and wants to try and talk to these other kids that
That's
she
so
like
cool.
say where it's at. It's great. But it's awesome. It's a cool place to bring her, and she loves it, and she has fun. She loves the ball. Ball is like life right now. She's like a dog.
So simple. It's so simple, but so sweet, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love doing everything with her, so it's tough to say. I mean, the big thing, like I mentioned, the like scaring. I love that she does that when we eat. We kind of do like a little peekaboo where I go like, bye, Addie, boop, and it, the smiles.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
She enjoys when I play guitar for her, which is pretty cool. Yeah, like she's into it, which is pretty awesome.
That's cool.
But then just like, I don't know, just like even just going on walks with her is the best. Just doing anything with her is awesome. It's hard.
It's funny when you would think that like you said she's into like watching you play guitar. You definitely get that feeling. You're like, oh, she likes this. Like it's my thing. Like I want to like mine the other day found my backpack, and she pulled out the drumsticks out of my backpack, and she goes boom boom boom, and she starts hitting it on the ground.
That's so cool.
And I'm like, you get that like vibe, and you're like, oh, she can play drums, right? Like God knows, like when she's like gonna be like drums, I don't care about that. But like you just get this thing in your brain when you see them do that. You're like, oh my God, she can play drums, right? She's gonna want to play drums, right? And you like get it in your head. You're like, nah. But yeah, it was funny. She just pulled the drumstick out of my backpack, and she ran over to the mat that's on the floor at her player and just started going boom 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 boom.
That's
and
so sweet
on the floor.
That's awesome. And then last question, since you guys got younger kids, is there like any moment of your kid's life where you're like excited to see them enter into this like phase of life? Anything where like if you're looking out and you're like, oh man, I can't wait until they reach this point of their life? Anything like that?
Yeah, so I am so excited to be able to have an actual full-on conversation with her.
Yeah,
Because
it's
like
so cool.
she can kind of talk right now. Like she says like words where like if you string those 3 things that she's trying to say together, it kind of makes a sentence. So like you can see where she's trying to get at, but she can't totally get there. Like I wanna like there's so many times where like she's like sad or something, and I'm like, what do you need? Like how do you need me to help you? Or like what do you want and like it's just hard for her to articulate what's going on. Like I just want to know what she's thinking too. Like I just want like where's your brain like right now? Like, whether it's like her playing or she's happy or she's sad or she's laughing or whatever. Sometimes you just want to look at her and go, like, what do you think about right now? Like
where are you at?
What's going on there? So I'm like extremely excited to like actually have like a real like conversation with her, and her like a responsive like back and forth like that to me is an exciting, fun thing to look forward to. It's coming soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I would agree with that for sure. Addie's obviously, she's just kind of she hasn't said dad in a while. She's more mom, ba ba right now, which is fine. It's fine. I'm not holding a grudge.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It it only hurts a little. But it's that would definitely be one I'm excited to have like a conversation with her. I don't know. I'm just I was talking to I was talking to somebody a couple of months ago, and he had said it's like, they do this one thing for a little bit, and then before you know it, it's gone, and then they're on to that next. And it's this cycle of like, oh, they're doing this thing right now. I love that they're doing this thing. Wait, they're not doing that thing anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like this cycle of missing the things that they were doing. The biggest thing like I'm trying to do right now is just stay present, like and enjoy it all, So
yeah.
I'll be stoked to have a conversation with her for sure. And most it'll probably be like, Dad, this band sucks. Please stop showing me. Please stop playing me the Grateful Dead. I don't give a shit about Jerry. Please.
Come on. And then she'll be like, Les Claypool wasn't that good. And you'll be like, get out.
Then,
get out. Just get out of my
Then we got to have a serious talk. Yeah.
You'd be like, then you look at your wife and be like, should I tell her or do you? Which one? Like, she can't, not in my house.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a Primus house.
Me in my house.
This isn't Red Hot Chili Peppers house. I don't care about Flea.
And she'll come back and be like, actually, Dad, I'm really into Tool. And you'll be like,
I'll allow it.
Okay. That's fine. That's our middle ground.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's about all I got for you guys besides moment for self-promotion. So like Instagrams, find your music, all that good stuff. Website, promote yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, we've got all of the above, Instagram, we've got TikTok, we've got, trying to keep up with the kids these days. We got a TikTok, Facebook, we have a website, it's all Turn 2 Band, so turn as in the word, not the number. But Turn 2 Band is usually our handle for pretty much everything.
Okay.
Turn2band.com, Turn 2 Band on all social media platforms. But I try to post silly, dumb stuff every day, as often as I can.
As much as you can, yeah.
I post myself covering emo songs on the toy instruments that my child has, which is fun.
You don't, so I do.
I'm not actually playing anything.
No, I do piano tutorials. Like I have piano tutorials of here's how you play What's My Age Again on like
nice.
On like one of, why is it so heavy? On like one of these.
Nice, that's great.
Nice.
So that's what I do.
I just kind of like fake play them, but I like lip sync and play like she has a little drum kit one that I played like one of the Fall Out Boy songs on.
Yes. I did like fun. Here's how you play Silver and Cold by AFI on your kid's piano.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So that's what I do in my non-existent free time.
I'll wait for that Girl Not Gray.
Wait.
Yeah. That one's a little bit. You do need like the piano. Like I think the last one I did was This Year by Mountain Goats or something. Like whenever you only have one octave, it's real freaking hard.
I was just gonna say you don't have the full.
You need more range. You need more range.
You have one octave, and to find something that works, like I think I've done like 20 of them now, but like. If after like I'm a really big fan of the Get Up Kids. That was my band, and like I'll Catch You is more than one octave. Mass Pike is more than one octave. I'm like, God damn it, James DeWeese, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
Well,
if you like that kind of, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like most of those pianos too. It's all in like C major, like the ranging you have is all in C major.
It's
so
C.
God forbid it's in B major and you're missing the low
you got nothing.
B. You know? Yeah.
I think. Go ahead. Sorry, keep talking. You're good.
I was just saying, if you do like stuff where like people are manipulating kids, music or stuff like that, there's a guy on Instagram. I totally forget his name, but if you look it up on Google, you'll find him. He makes songs on his own, sings and like plays guitar and stuff. And he's actually, I think, put out a song on like streaming platforms too, where all the lyrics are all stories that his 3-year-old daughter told him.
Yes, I've seen those. Those are awesome. Yes,
hysterical, and it's so good. Like it's so good. Definitely check that out if you haven't seen it because it's so funny and good.
That's
awesome.
Awesome.
Anyway,
yes,
we're a band, and go check us out on the internet and everywhere.
On the webs.
Our music's where you can stream it. Every platform. Our first EP is out, but like over the course of the next few months, you'll get more new music on all those streaming platforms, which will be really fun. So check us out. We're fun. Catchy, fun, pop punk.
Yeah.
A lot of the new stuff we like to think of as like if a Fall Out Boy met Coheed and Cambria kind of stuff.
Nice.
A lot of influence from a lot of that stuff. So, and then Mason just ripping on bass.
Here's my awful dad joke for you guys. Whenever your kids both turn 2, do you have to change the name of the band? Because the band is named after your anticipation for your kids to turn 2. Is that correct? Is that don't go to the just leave this where don't tell me the origin of the band name?
That is something I didn't even think about yet at this point. And now Now we have to throw like a concert / party for both their
when
second
your kids
birthdays.
turn 2. It's literally the name of you guys have to play your kids 2-year
I don't know
birthday.
how I didn't even think about that.
Are you guys not just playing 2-year-old birthday parties? You play other
This
things.
is a business plan. Devin just gave us a great business plan.
We only play 2-year-old birthday parties.
Yes.
That's it.
That's your business plan.
2-year-olds love us.
Whenever my kids turn 2, I was like, if only there's a band who is ready for this exact moment.
Yeah, we charge like
$20, right? Is that?
Yeah, I was literally about to say like 30.
Are there
30
4
bucks.
of you in the band? Are you 4 in the band? Just $5 each. How about $5 and you get to take home the cake afterwards?
That's sold.
Sold. I'm in. I like vanilla.
That is okay. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
If you guys ever do a Westlake tour, I'm out in Denver area. I'll try to keep up with all your socials and stuff. See if you guys make it out here, come to one of your shows and bother you in person instead of through a screen.
I love this. This is great. We're not worried about it. We just like having a fun time with people. So this is great.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Thanks for sharing your stories.
Dude,
I really appreciate it.
Devin, thank you so much, man. Just being able to talk about being a dad is just super awesome, man. So you got a good thing going, man. Fun. This is awesome.
Cool.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
You, Devin.
Appreciate it. Hopefully your kids sleep through the night. Good luck.
We'll see. She didn't wake up during this, so I win. I count that as a win.
You got to win. You got to win.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. I'll see you guys next time.
All right. Take it easy.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at the Imperfect Dads Podcast. And make sure to give us 5 stars wherever you listen to us. Music, editing, and production is all done by me. Make sure to tune in on Mondays and most Thursdays for new episodes. This podcast is part of the Never a Phase Network. Make sure to go to neveraphasenetwork.com to learn more about them.